Have you ever tried to change a behavior? Maybe quit smoking or exercise more, or even just, start a simple new habit and found it surprisingly difficult, like really hard. We often put it down to willpower, don't we? But what if there's actually a deeper science involved? And what if maybe the ways we usually tackle this are missing something important? Today, we're investigating why changing behavior can be so tough, even when we really want to. We're doing a deep dive into the pretty fascinating world of behavior change theories. We're using insights from a big academic review. It's called Theories of Behavior and Behavior Change Across the Social and Behavioral Sciences, a scoping review by Rachel Davis and her team. Our mission for you today: to unpack why understanding the theory behind change is, well, crucial for actually making change happen effectively, and how experts are trying to clear things up in this really complex area.
Yeah, it's such a critical question. Think about it, public health campaigns, fitness apps, all sorts of interventions. They often have pretty modest effects. We put in a lot of effort, but sometimes the results are underwhelming. And what's really interesting here, what this review suggests, is that a key reason might be that these efforts aren't grounded in the right theory. Or maybe they focus too much on just individual motivation or ability and kind of ignore the context, social factors, the environment.
Okay, so the issue might be we're using the wrong approach, or maybe sometimes no clear approach at all. In this review, it tried to tackle that head on.
Exactly. The researchers took on a huge task. They systematically looked for theories across 4 big disciplines: psychology, sociology, anthropology, and economics. They even got together a group of 24 UK experts from different fields to agree on what theory and behavior even mean in this context, just to get everyone on the same page.
That sounds really thorough. So what did they find after all that digging?
Well, after this massive mapping exercise, they identified, get this, 82 distinct theories of behavior and behavior change.
82. Wow, that's a lot of theories.
It is. And it's not just about health behaviors either. This covers everything: environmental actions, safety, education. Basically, all sorts of human actions.
Right, like trying to find the right key on a giant, slightly overwhelming keychain. So, with 82 options, did they find out which ones are actually being used most often in practice?
Yes. And that's where it gets really, really interesting. Because despite finding 82 theories, their look at the published research showed this popularity paradox. It turns out just 4 theories were used in the vast majority of studies they reviewed.
Only 4 out of 82.
Mere 4. The trans-theoretical model, that's the one about stages of change. Then the theory of planned behavior, which looks at intentions, social cognitive theory about learning from others, and the information motivation behavioral schools model. Those 4 accounted for something like 63% of all the articles they found that actually applied any theory.
63%. That's a huge concentration on just a few players. So that leads to a big question for you listening, doesn't it? Does being popular automatically mean a theory is, the best one or the most effective?
Exactly. And the answer seems to be not necessarily. For instance, the most cited one, the trans-theoretical model, it's actually faced a fair bit of criticism about its empirical support. The evidence backing it up isn't always as strong as you might expect, given its popularity.
Okay.
And conversely, you have something like control theory, which is about how we regulate our actions to meet goals. It actually has strong statistical backing from lots of studies combined. But it was hardly used at all in the literature they reviewed.
So people might just be choosing theories because they're familiar, or maybe because they're, like, fashionable in academia at the time.
That seems to be a strong possibility. Familiarity or fashion, rather than proven effectiveness or whether it's truly the right fit for the specific problem or context.
Right. So if popularity isn't the best guide, how can people like intervention designers or even just us trying to change our own habits choose more wisely?
Well, the review helps there too. It identified 9 key things to look for when assessing how good a theory is. Think about things like, is it clear what the theory is actually measuring? Can we measure it? Can we test it properly? And maybe most importantly, does it apply broadly, across different kinds of people, different situations, different behaviors? Gives you a kind of checklist.
A roadmap, almost, for picking the right tool for the job instead of just grabbing the most popular one off the shelf. Okay, so this deep dive really shows that changing behavior is complex, definitely not simple, but there's this incredibly rich, diverse landscape of theories out there way beyond the handful we might usually hear about. And the journey to actually making change happen effectively, it really seems to start with choosing the right theoretical lens to look through.
Absolutely. And if you think about the bigger picture, It just underscores how science is always evolving, right? And how important it is to keep questioning and evaluating the tools and approaches we rely on.
So as you reflect on all this, here's something to chew on. If common usage doesn't always equal quality when it comes to scientific theories, where else in our lives might we be defaulting to the popular approach when maybe a lesser known but potentially much more effective solution is just sitting there waiting to be discovered?